Yeah, we're like that. We're like that. Something like that. Yeah. Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with I heard he sang a good song. I heard he had a style. And so I came to see him and listen for a while. And there he was, this young boy, a stranger to my eyes, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. Oh, oh, la 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 la. Oh, oh, la la la. Oh, oh, la 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 la. Oh, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly. Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. I heard he sang a good song. I heard he had a style, and so I came to see him and listen for a while. And there he was, this young boy, a stranger to my eyes, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. so much value. And I'm going to tell y'all why in a minute. But I'm telling y'all, water is dirty. Okay, so I think I spoke about this earlier in my videos, but I talked about how Adam and Eve, my perspective about Adam and Eve. And how I seen it, honestly, was that Eve and Adam, I don't know which one specifically, but one was the body and one was the head. One was the mind and one was the hair. You know, one was the body and one was the head. That's how I seen Adam and Eve, as one person, one soul, one body, one mind, one heart, but one served the other. I didn't see them separately, and this is what they had to explain to me, you know, and explained it because they didn't understand where I was coming from or how I had got my point of view. But how I got my point of view was reading the book, reading the Bible, and just using my imagination. And what my imagination brought to me was leaning upon my understanding. So they used to call me heathen, you know. And this is what I remembered as I was remembering this song, and this song was coming back to me. It's not my song, but it resonates with me a lot, especially at this time. You know, if you can reflect on loving yourself, self-love, you don't have to focus on outwardly. You know, it's too loud out there. So what do you happen when it's loud out there? You come back to yourself and you sing. You know, it's just like strumming my pain with his fingers. What's strumming my pain with his fingers as you're sitting there, you know, washing your face, you're, you know, putting on lotion, you're catering to yourself, strumming my pain. You know, you can be doing your hair. You're strumming your pain with your fingers, and his fingers, just like I said, Adam and Eve. The body can be he, and the mind can be her. The soul can be her, the body can be he, you know. The spirit, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words. A lot of times we can't speak what we really mean, so therefore, you know, what the body feels, our voice, we are speaking out, and we are speaking in, we are speaking for our body. You know, maybe our body is feeling pain, so our voice, we're only speaking out what we feel inside. Killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. And what is our words? Our words are our life. Our life is our song. I heard he sang a good song. In other words, I heard he had a life. In other words, I heard he had a good life. I heard he had a style. Everybody's life is so authentic. So if he's a good man and he has a good song, and I heard he had a style, I heard his authenticity in his being. I heard that he was different from a lot of people. I heard how he carried himself was so much different than how everybody carried themselves originally. And so I came to see him and listen for a while. Just like God coming to see that one individual person that keep calling upon their life. And I'm gonna revert back to the Bible because, like I said, I give a lot of my credit to God. You know, it's like God coming and seeing that one person that keeps calling and calling. God got to know your mind. God got to know your spirit. God got to know you. And it's like, you know, I have to come and see you, you know, and see with my own eyes what is going on. You know, you call upon me, you say you got this song, you got this life, and I'm coming to see and listen to you for the first time, or, so that we can begin our journey together. And so I came to see him and listen for a while. And there he was, this young boy, a stranger to my eyes. So when I'm singing this song, I'm basically saying, or I'm singing this song of another person's, one of my favorite persons, is basically saying to me is that, whatever situation you have to revert back to yourself. Just revert back to yourself. Give yourself that love, because everything that you've been through, you got through it by yourself. Give yourself that credit. Give yourself that pat on the back, and then revert back to, maybe this is like, you can see it in the perspective of God talking to you, God, listening to you, kind of shift the perspective of the sound of the song of, I heard he sang, of God basically talking about you, and you will kind of look at what I'm seeing, or I'm talking about. You will see you will kind of get where I'm going with this. Strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his song, killing me softly with his song. And the more you just think about a person, or the more you think about God, or the more you think about just love in general, you fall in love with somebody's creativity, their authenticity. You fall in love with their talent. You fall in love with their heart. You fall in love with their passion. You see what they're about, and you're like, oh, wow, I fell in love with this person. I love everything about you. This person is very creative, and whatever their heart is, you're falling in love with their heart. So she came and she sang. She came and she sat and she listened to his song. She got to know him from his song, from his style, and that was how she knew him. Like, this is like a romantic song, and I love this song just because it reminds me of back when, romance and the little things and the personality, of people mattered more than what they can give you, what they can provide to you, more than that dollar, more than that car, more than this, that, and the third. But what mattered was them, because they were worth more than than this world can give. People in our lives are worth so much more than these things, and what we made the world to be. We made these things. These things are our own walls. We're trying to climb over our own walls because we created these things with our own hands. And we created this situation into what it is. And that's just what